Why do you look like your parents? Hi, welcome to Curious Kids Every Day. I'm Josh. How are you doing today? It's so good to hear from you. Hey, has anyone ever said to you, "You look just like your mom," or "You look just like your dad"? Growing up, I had people say that to me. "You look like your mom." Were these people telling me that I looked like a girl? No, they were saying that I have similar facial features. Maybe our nose is the same shape, or our hair is the same color, or our eyes, or maybe we have a similar smile. And you know, sometimes I look at pictures of my dad when he was a kid and I think, wow, I really do look like my dad. I'm still my own unique person, but I can look at pictures of my parents and see that I'm a part of them, or they're a part of me, or something. Have you ever wondered why that is? Why on earth do you look so much like your parents? I was thinking about this question today because I got an email from a curious kid named Elijah. He wondered, why do I look like my parents? Well, it's actually a pretty crazy story. You want to find out how it works? Inside your body, in almost every tiny cell, you have an instruction book that helps build you. That instruction book is called DNA. Can you say DNA? You can think of DNA like a giant recipe book with tons of recipes inside. And those recipes help decide things like your eye color, your hair color, whether your hair is curly or straight, what your skin tone is like, how tall you might grow, or even little things like whether you have freckles or dimples. And here's the big reason that you can look like your family. It's because you got your DNA from your mom and dad. When a baby starts to grow inside its mama, it begins from a tiny cell that has DNA in it. Half of that DNA comes from mom, and half of that DNA comes from dad. Those two halves mix together to help build you. Isn't that amazing? But you're not a copy of either of your parents. You're more like a mix. Think about it like this. When you have two paint colors and you put those two paint colors together, they make a new color, right? That new color is you. That's how DNA works. So when your mom or dad says, "You are so much like me," that's because you are like your parents. The same code that built them built you too. But you're a mix of both of their codes, which makes you wholly unique. Now, let's talk about how DNA is organized, because this is pretty crazy too. See, DNA is bundled up into packages called chromosomes. Can you say chromosomes? Think of chromosomes like folders that hold lots of recipes inside. And inside those folders are smaller instructions called genes. But not like pants. Genes. genes. A gene is like one tiny recipe that can affect a trait. And a trait is something about you, like your hair color or your eye color. For many traits, you get two versions of a gene, one from your mom and one from your dad. And sometimes one version is stronger at speaking up. And that's called dominant. Sometimes one version is quieter and needs help to show up. That's called recessive. So you might have a gene version that says brown eyes and another that says green eyes. But if the brown eyes version of the gene is dominant, it might be the one that shows up in your face. But it's not always simple. Some traits are controlled by lots of genes working together. And that means you can end up with a look that is a special blend. Maybe you have a hair color that is kind of in between. Or your smile looks like one grown-up, but your eyes look like another. And here's one more interesting twist to the whole thing. Your environment matters too. Environment means things like your food, your sleep, how much sunlight you get, and how your body grows over time. Your DNA is the plan, but your life helps shape how that plan turns out. This is why even identical twins who start with the same DNA can end up with tiny differences over time, like small changes in height, or freckles, or even how their voices sound. So, why do you look like your family? Because your body was built using DNA instructions that you inherited. And those instructions mix together in a one-of-a-kind way that makes you, you. I have a really cool example with my family that illustrates how DNA works. See, my son Shiloh, he's our 2-year-old. He never got to meet one of his grandmas. She was gone before he was born. But you know what? He has her smile. It's crazy. Every time I see him smile, I think, whoa, that's my wife's mom, Shiloh's grandma. Every time he smiles, I see it. So my wife's parents shared their DNA with her, and then my wife and I shared our DNA with Shiloh. And somewhere in all those DNA instructions are the ones that shape a smile. The genes that helped create the smile got passed along generation to generation. So even though Shiloh never met his grandma, some of the same DNA instructions that helped shape her smile are now helping shape his. So in a real way, he has his grandma's smile. It's so special. He doesn't know his grandma, he never got to meet her, but a piece of him is his grandma. Some of the same DNA instructions that helped build her helped build him too. I think that's just amazing. All of the features that make you, you are a combination of all the people in your family that came before you. And I think that makes you pretty special. Okay, let's have a quick quiz. What is the name of the instruction book inside your cells? 3 letters. Do you remember them? DNA. What are the DNA folders called? We call them chromosomes. And if one version of a gene is louder and shows up more often, what is it called? We call that one dominant. Let's play true or false. True or false? You get about half of your DNA from your mom and half of your DNA from your dad. That is true. True or false? DNA is only found in your hair and your skin. That is false. It's in your cells. True or false? Some traits are controlled by lots of genes working together. Yep, that's true. True or false? Your environment can never change anything about how you look. That is false. Would you rather look more like someone from your family when you were a baby, or more like them when you are a grown-up? I think it's cool to look like somebody in your family when you're a grown-up. Seeing old pictures and realizing, oh, that's not me, that's my dad or that's my grandfather. That's just so interesting to me. We have a picture of my great uncle, and he looks so much like my son Elliot. It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Okay, let's play a few rounds of What Am I? What am I? I'm inside most of your cells. I'm like an instruction book. And I help tell your body how to grow. What am I? I am DNA. All right, here's another one. What am I? I'm a bundle that holds lots of DNA. I'm like a folder full of instructions. And I am a really big word. What am I? I am a chromosome. Okay, one more. What am I? I'm a small piece of DNA. I'm like one tiny recipe inside the big recipe book. And I can influence traits like hair texture or eye color. What am I? I am a gene. You know, I think it's so cool to think that I'm a unique blend of my parents and their parents and their parents. That's why I can look at pictures of my grandparents and my great-grandparents and see little bits of my own children. It's just crazy. DNA is proof that there is no one in the world just like you. It's literally code written into your body that proves that you are unique. And here's something else crazy to think about. What if one day, when you're really old, let's say that you're a great-grandparent, okay? You have kids, and then they had kids, and then they had kids. And when you hold your great-grandchild, you notice that they have the same smile that you had when you were a kid. That could really happen. Isn't that so cool? What kind of question do you think we'll ask tomorrow on Curious Kids Every Day? I can't wait to find out. So until then, keep asking questions and stay curious, kids. And we've got a birthday today. It's Avery's birthday. Avery is from Illinois, and Avery is turning 7. Happy birthday, Avery. To all the grown-ups listening, if your curious kid wants their birthday mentioned on the show, please visit supportcuriouskids.com and join the Curious Kids Club. That's supportcuriouskids.com. Oh, and to get a free printable with activity ideas that don't involve screens, please visit CuriousKidsEveryday.com. That's CuriousKidsEveryday.com. See you tomorrow.